So today we want to talk to you about controlling our reactions. And I think it's a super interesting subject because we're reacting to everything. Like this is how we work, like as human beings, as animals too, actually. We react to things, okay? And we want you to understand something we understood a couple of years ago now. That instead of reacting, we can learn how to act with intentions. And this is what we want to talk to you today.
Yes. How are you? Welcome to the Coffee Talkie Show. We hope you have your coffee with us. We're drinking this one. I think it's still hot.
Yeah, it's a bit hot. We're gonna give it a try. And
yeah, it's still hot. We're having some technical issues and hard time starting the live, but here we are, and that's what's important. We did it. We did it.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Yes. So, thank you for being here. Second episode. We're very excited, and I think before we're gonna dig into it, maybe better to tell you a little bit, like just give you what's going to happen in the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, let's take a deep breath.
Yes, let's
do that.
Let's do that.
Let it out. Try to just release some tension, let go of things that weight your shoulders down. If you're just hearing us and not seeing us,
then you know that we're moving around right now and we're trying to release some tension.
Some energy.
Yes.
Spirit fingers. Remember that?
And taking some deep breath. I think it's a good practice for today's topic of the show.
Yep.
Breathing. So maybe let's do another one.
Yeah, let's take a deep breath together. Yeah.
So can we start now?
Yes.
So today we want to talk to you about controlling our reactions. And I think it's a super interesting subject because we're reacting to everything. Like this is how we work, like as human beings, as animals too, actually. We react to things, okay? And we want you to understand something we understood a couple of years ago now. That instead of reacting, we can learn how to act with intentions. And this is what we want to talk to you today.
Yes. In the last episode, we talked about taking responsibility, positive responsibility of your life, and the fact that you can't control everything. You can't control people. You can't control the world. You just can't. But you can try and control more your reactions to those things that are happening around you, to you, beside you, behind you. I don't know. You can learn to maybe control is not the exact word, but to do it in a with more intention, and that will serve you more.
Yes.
Okay, because that's the thing. And there's a great metaphor that I really like that we talked a lot about that. Imagine life being you and a lot of balls are thrown to your direction, okay? Small balls, big balls, soft balls, harder balls. Life throws at you many balls and you're like, here, you can't control what balls are arriving into your directions, but you can decide if you want to catch a ball, if you want to avoid it, if you want to give it a punch and throw it back to where it came from. You can learn to catch it and pass it on. You can learn to catch it and hug it. You can learn to duck down and let it fly above your head. This is what we're talking here about.
Yeah. And you can also, if I take this metaphor, and you can have a ball straight in your gut, straight in your face, and do nothing, and it hurts.
Yeah.
This is also something. But again, this is part of what you can control, is what's going on inside you. And we talked before, and I think we can tell it here again, about this control paradox. So as Maayan just said, you cannot control what's going on outside. You cannot control people. Actually, we can control very, very low amount of things in our lives. When we go deep down and we think about it clearly, there's not a lot of things we can control, but we can learn how to control ourselves. And if, as man said, control is maybe not the exact words for it. Maybe it's more about learning how to act in certain ways based on what just happened, and
to manage your reactions.
Yes, to manage your reactions.
Okay, because, and by reactions, we mean it could be our words, our behavior,
our thoughts.
And it's sometimes it's physical things we do, sometimes it's just a decision we make based on what happened to us.
I want you to think of it for a second, like some things that are very easy to comprehend are emotions. When was the last time you were angry?
2 minutes ago.
Well, that's honest. But now that you're thinking about it, take another a few seconds to think. When was the last time you were angry? And what did you do based on that? Because every single person will react differently to their own feelings. Okay, so I gave the example of anger for a reason, because it's usually one that we're easily reacting to. One person will shout, one person will punch the wall, one person will run, one person will cry, one person will shut down, one person will talk it out, one person, every person will react differently.
Anger is an energy, okay? It comes from below and it goes up, and then you have to do something about it. So you can explode, and there are cartoons where the head explodes from anger and it's red. And
I don't know if you've seen Inside Out by Pixar, but if you haven't, please go watch it, because the character of anger is just amazing.
There are cartoons with steam going out from their ears and from the head, and it's just energy going from down up, and you have to do something. So you can release it, and it's steam, being red, shout, punch a wall, all those things. Or you can try and contain it, and the energy is here, it's in your head, and you can try to hold it and heavily bring it back down and settle in. You can try to do that. And there's no right or wrong here, okay?
Yeah. No, but there's no right or wrong, but what I try to give you as an explanation, so you can feel it inside you and think about the last time you were angry, or you felt anger. It's more appropriate to say it this way. The last time, how did you react? This is exactly what we want to talk about today, because you decide for yourself how to react to certain things. And you can decide to let it all out, and you can decide to try and control it. I don't always recommend that, to be honest, because it's here for a reason.
Yeah.
And you can decide how you're reacting to it and what actions you're taking. What does it mean? Learning what serves you best. We're talking a lot about that here on our show and on our Instagram. Finding what works best for you. Okay, this is the most important thing, because I'll give you a very personal story. Okay, I don't feel anger a lot in my life, but when I do, I need to act. But I learned that what works best for me is to go out and physically be active, so the energy goes out. I don't necessarily need to shout, punch, get crazy. No, I learn what works best for me and what actually has the less casualties in the process of me getting angry. And that's fine. But I learned it. And every person, and this is what we're trying to tell you here. Learn what works for you. What action with intention works for you in every situation.
And I think the first thing you could do is to acknowledge what is it that you're reacting to. What are you feeling right now? It could be angry, it could be sadness, it could be joy, it could be surprise, it could be many, many things. But acknowledge what is it that I'm feeling that making me like, I need to react to this.
And,
what is it?
And let's face it,
How do you call it?
Reacting and acting every single second of our day. You're listening to us right now and your mind goes different places, and you are maybe doing something physically and maybe you're writing, or maybe, I don't know, but you are reacting to the situation that you're in right now, which is listening to us. And in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you will do something else and you will react to it too. And it's always a ping pong game between situations and our reactions. And we keep on going back and forth. Yeah. And there are those, as Maayan said, those big life balls that are thrown at you. Those can be crazy things like government and weather and all those things that we talked about last week. And those are big things, but it can also be your very personal interactions with other people. It could be your interaction with yourself. It could be your so everything. Basically, it's everything, because it's always an exchange, and that's why when we think of a positive lifestyle and when we think of a more healthy lifestyle, we invite you to start thinking of how you react.
Yeah. So let's go back to the balls example, okay?
Yeah.
So the reflex or the default reaction would be like to defend yourself and, throw the ball back from where it came. Yeah, that because you don't want to get hurt. But imagine,
I don't know if you have it happened to you. I had a physical basketball thrown at me.
It hurts. It hurts. But and the reaction is very, very quick. Okay, so you see the ball coming your way and you don't want to get hurt, and that's totally natural. You're human and sane. So you put your hands in a way that will protect you, throwing this ball away from you. But imagine for just one moment that you're like a superhero and you can stop the time at a specific moment before the ball hits you. Okay, you see the ball, it's here. You stop the time. Stop just for a tiny moment. Okay, superhero there. You stop for a moment. You take a deep breath. Okay, this is the pause we talked about last week. You stop for a moment and you see, first of all, what is it that's coming my way? Maybe it's a super soft ball and a furry ball and I want to hug it and it will make me feel good. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. What is it that I'm seeing? What is it that I need to react to? How does it make me feel? And it goes super fast. Okay, when you train yourself to do that, you don't have to stop time for 2 hours. Just like a fraction of a second. What is it that's coming my way? How does it make me feel? Okay, and now how can I react to it in a way that will serve me? Acting from an intention, like intention is,
what's the goal? What's the purpose of your action right now?
Biggest purpose, okay? So now the purpose is not playing basketball with this. It's like the purpose of me reacting to this could be, I want to be softer with myself. I want to be more joyful in my life. I want to be free in my life. I want to make money. I don't know. It's your intention, not mine. So what's your intention and how you can react? So this ball that's coming your way will actually serve you. And then you make a decision.
And then you act.
And
when you say act, it's everything. It's, as Maayan said before, and I want to say it again, it's your thoughts, it's your feelings, it's your behaviors. It's not only like the physical actions of what's happening in the moment. It's everything that's going on inside. If you decide not to do anything, but you're bubbling inside you, it's an action as well, okay? And let's try and give you some practical examples of day-to-day life so you can like imagine yourself in it. Imagine you're going to meet friends, okay? And you arrived on time and then someone's late. Happens, right? It's not about you. You can't control it. You don't know why. But now you can decide how you react to this situation. And I don't know, if you're like me, I really don't like people being late. But I learned that I cannot control them. The only thing I can control is what's happening inside me, or my actions, my behaviors, my thoughts, my feelings with regard to the situation. So
I don't understand that.
I can, thank you Google for talking to me. So one thing that can happen, for example, is me sitting there and being like, if you're only listening to me so you don't see me like sitting super anxiously and being like, why they are not arriving, why is it, and the only thing that is happening is me getting super stressed and super anxious for nothing, because it's not even mine.
And you know, the loop is even bigger because you're sitting there and you're wondering what happened, why do they don't respect me, why nobody cares about my time, nobody cares about me or what I'm feeling, and you go like, woo, this ball, it's a tiny ball, but in your imagination it like
became huge. And this is one option.
Yeah.
Another option, do you have another example of how you can react to this situation?
Take a deep breath, enjoy the time you are with yourself while waiting for someone else. I don't know, listen to music, watch the clouds passing by, breathe, make notes of things you have to do later, call a friend. I don't know. You've been given the gift of time. You have 5 minutes with yourself. Enjoy this gift.
And like, this is another example. And I can tell you that if you've listened to the episode last week, you know that I don't like being late. So I work on that. So I make sure that I don't do that. But a couple of months ago, I knew I'm going to be late. I had problems with the public transport and I knew I'm going to be late. And then I wrote to my friends half an hour earlier, listen, I already see it coming. I'm going to be 10 minutes late. And her reaction was just amazing because she told me, Gal, we're meeting in a park. I bought a book with me. I'm going to read it. And I'm going to have an amazing time. Come whenever you can. And I was like, you know, and her reaction made me also get like calm about the situation. Again, I cannot control the public transport. So my my initial reaction was, oh my God, I'm going to be like disrespectful to my friends. But I took an action. I stopped. I breathed. I took an action to let her know that this is happening. And that I'm sorry about that because it's not me being disrespectful. So those were my action, what I can control. And her reaction to my situation was so good that she reflected back to me this energy of calm and peaceful. Yeah. And I was so grateful for that. So this is just a live example of how our reactions really impact also the situation. For us and for others.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, those life events and things that are happening to us, this is a way for us to move forward in our life and grow as persons, you know, if we use them in a way that serves us best. Let's take, for example, maybe it's a bit deeper, but fear. Okay? When we see fear coming to and we feel this fear, our reaction, like the default reaction, would be to avoid this situation because it's frightening and we don't want to be there and it's dark and not comfortable and not fun at all. So we avoid it, okay? and we take another path, maybe we go back, maybe we take a detour, maybe we just, lay back, stop, do nothing, okay? But imagine for a moment that if instead of doing all these, you stop for a moment, you acknowledge that this is fear that you're facing right now, and you decide to be brave about it. And go for it. Embrace the fear, catch this ball. Maybe it's huge, I don't know. Maybe it's super hot, maybe it's lava, I don't know. And, take a deep breath with it and go forward with your fear. And, take a step forward. Grow as a person. When you grow, the fear maybe can shrink a little bit. It's not that scary anymore. And then you look back and, oh my God, I did it. Okay? And this is how we use those things to grow and to live better, okay? And we talked about it last week. It's about getting better at life. It's not about standing here in the same place, catching the same balls that are coming to our faces and avoid them. It's not about that. It's about, getting better, having fun, playing with those balls sometimes. Yeah, sometimes it's funny, sometimes you do get a ball in your face and it hurts, but it's funny also.
It can be funny. But I don't know if you remember that, but for a couple of years now, I have this thing that I'm doing that I started a couple of years ago, that I'm having an imaginative coffee with emotions, situations, people that are not here. I don't know, call it whatever you want. But you were talking about fear, and I can tell you, and it's very relatable for women abroad, that 2 years ago, I decided that I'm leaving Israel, and I was scared. I was terrified by, I understood that I'm taking a decision for my best future.
Yeah.
But I was terrified.
Okay, so imagine this is the ball coming at you.
Yeah. And I don't know, I don't know if I think we talked about it. I remember sitting, I had a beautiful rooftop back in Tel Aviv, and I remember sitting and being like, I'm going to have coffee with my fear. What is it here? Why are you here? And you can call me crazy right now. You can call me a bit, but I've done it a couple of times. And every time I made myself coffee, sat there on the roof and be like, fear, come. Let's chat. What are you here to tell me? What are you trying to make me see, learn, do, grow? I'm here. I'm listening. And those were such powerful moments for me, because I was terrified by my own decision of leaving Israel after 9 years and going back to France. And I didn't know what's going to be here. It was the middle of the pandemic. I had to go back living at my parents' place. Something I haven't done for 12 years. A lot of things. And I was terrified. But I decided that this is my life. And if it's my life, then I can decide, what am I doing? Remember, we talked last week about what is my role in this situation. True, fear was taking a lot of my days and my nights, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna embrace it. As Maayan said, it's a furry ball. I'm gonna hug it and understand what it's here to say. So I was having those coffee chats and with my own
it's
fear.
Even more than that. You saw fear coming your way, and you took a step toward fear. Okay, instead of waiting for him to hit you in the face and punch you and scare you, you took a step toward fear. Okay, saying, yeah, I'm here, come on.
I'm here. I'm strong enough.
Yeah.
It's part of understanding who we are and how resilient we are. Yeah. And even when we're doubting ourselves, and believe us, we doubt ourselves a lot. And even when our like inner conversation is not as positive as we want it to be, and all those things are coming back, we know that deep inside we are powerful, we're brave, we're resilient.
Yes.
And from this energy, we can step, as Maayan said, we can step forward and be like, come on, bring it on.
Yeah.
I want to know what you're here to do.
You know, I love this quote saying, courage is not the lack of fear, but it's going with the fears, passing them, and stepping forward.
Step forward. So
despite the fears.
Despite the fear, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, as expats, as women, we deal with a lot of situations that we can't control.
Yeah. Everyone does.
Everyone does. But like, I know that when I said it right now, you think of a lot of things that you're like, no one can understand that. Guess what? We can. But a lot of people won't feel the same things as you because you're dealing with things that other people are not.
Yeah.
And every person has their own thing, and I don't think one is bigger than the other. Every person has their own thing and their own scale levels of things happening in their lives. But be honest with yourself and think of your capabilities to deal with things, and then put it into good use.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to go back a little bit about the kinds of reaction we could have. Okay, because we said there are no right or wrong answer. It's what suits you and serve you. And you know, you can decide to throw your phone and break it on the wall if it helps you. If you do that with intention, then amazing. I hope you have insurance. But sometimes you need to just let the steam out. That's it. You just can't contain it, and you just have to let it out. And you can punch a wall, or throw your phone. Just don't hit anybody. Don't kill anybody. You can curse. You can shout. Just know, don't be so violent toward others. But that's totally fine. If it serves you in this exact moment, then great. Okay? That's totally fine. Just be honest. You said it before. Be honest with yourself. What serves me best right now? Do I want to talk about it? Do I want to be silent about it? That's great.
That's a great
Both
thing.
great. Do I want to be alone? Do I need a hug from someone? Do that.
And it comes both ways. It's once you're honest with yourself, but then be able to communicate it. Because I'll give you a personal example. I like when I'm not in a good situation, I need time for myself. I need to process it. I need to distance myself from a situation so I can understand what's going on and come back. So that I control my reactions, okay? Because I learned the hard way that when I don't control my reactions, people get hurt. This was my thing. Like, if you want a small like anecdote and laugh about it, Maya knows what I'm gonna say. This is why my name is Gal, and Gal in Hebrew means wave. And for years now, everyone has been telling me, and I love it because I really feel it in my bone that I'm like a source of water. And when everything good,
It's me. I'm the source.
you're the source. You're the spring of water. But like I'm water flowing, and call it whatever you want. But like I can be very calm, like calm sea, everything's good. And I can be like wavy, and I can be a tsunami. And when it happens, then people get hurt. So I learned the hard way that when I don't control, people get hurt. So I don't want people to get hurt because of my situation. But what I also learned is that when I push everyone around because I need to have my moment, this also hurt people because I couldn't communicate it. So I learned, I was honest with myself, knowing that when something happens, I need to distance myself. But I forgot the important part of communicating it, because we're not living in a vacuum. We're not living alone in the jungle where no one can see what's going on. So when I was like, I need time for myself, pushing everyone around, I actually hurt people. And I was like, and then I found myself like apologizing for something that was good for me. I was like, this is not good. So I learned. And now the people that are close to me, okay, not everyone needs to know that. Now you know that. But the people that are close to me, they know that if I ask for my time, they respect that. And they know I'm going to come back. So again, if I go back to what we said, be honest and communicate it.
Yeah. And I have to go back to the controlling the things, because it's sometimes your reaction is like, don't control. You can decide, I don't want to control this. I want to let it wash me. This tsunami is coming my way. And I don't want to control this situation. It's too much for me to control, and that's okay. But that's a decision. That's a reaction. When you do that with your intention and you say, I know that this is what will serve me best, to not control this situation, to let it be, thank you, John Lennon. Sometimes you just need to let things be and not control, because it's an understanding that you can't control. Sometimes you go with the flow, you let your emotions, flow, and totally fine. Some things are bigger than you, and we live in society, and that's okay, and the universe and the energy, and it's all, you call it whatever you want, it's yours. But it's not always about controlling. It's about learning to react in a way that is beneficial to you at the specific moment, of your life, at the present moment. This is where, mindfulness comes handy, and, being present right here, right now. What's best for me right here, right now? How can I act in this situation that will benefit what I'm trying to do in this world? And if all I'm trying to do in this world right now is, be then great, just be, breathe, be, let the waves wash you, let things wash you. It will pass, it's not gonna, whatever you're feeling right now, it's not here forever. Everything passes, okay? So sometimes if you wanna just be there with your feelings, great. Happy for you. I'm doing it all the time. And I think sometimes, for me, I decide sometimes that this is bigger, too big for me. I can't, there is nothing I can do intentionally that will help me get out of this situation. And all I can do now is just breathe, be present in the moment. I'm here, and this will pass. And then I'll deal with whatever comes next. I don't know what it is. I can't control what it is. But that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now.
We had a lot of breathing today, but I think it's a lot about we're saying it a lot in a lot of different versions, but it's about going inside, understanding that it comes from there. It's come from inside you. It's coming from your own strength and your own core system. And once you're honest inside of yourself, once you understand what's working for you and what's not, then everything else will run more smoothly. Okay? Sometimes you will have bumps in the road. Sometimes things are gonna happen that you cannot even expect them. And then what you learn is to go inside and be like, okay, so what am I doing with it right now? And whatever you decide, it's great because it was your decision. It was your action. And you know what's good for you.
Yeah, and you do things for you, okay? And the quicker you'll understand that, the better it is for you. You do things, it doesn't make you selfish or egocentric or all those words. It's not that. It's about you do things for you that are beneficial for you so you can do better in this world. Okay? It's not I'm doing for me because I want to be bigger or I want to be more important in this world. It's not about that. It's about I'm doing the best for me so I can be the best version of myself, so I can be the best version in this world, spreading away whatever I have to do. And it's about that. So it's when you take action based on your intention doesn't make you selfish, okay? We have to say this.
Yes, again.
Because sometimes in this world people think, oh, if I think about myself, what's best for me, then I'm not okay, then what will people think about me? Well, I get you, but who cares what's happening around you? It's not their life, it's your life. And it's about you feeling better so you can be better at this life, in this world, in society, in this universe. It's about that, okay? So you're not selfish. We are not selfish. We want to serve this world to be better. We want to spread whatever we're having and knowing and thinking. And it's not about only how we get better for ourselves. It's not only about that.
And when you think of that in this direction, you can also understand better that when something's happening to someone else, it's not yours.
Even if this person is really, really close to you.
But it's still not yours.
And you know, we used to think that, for example, when something happened to Gal, okay, that I care so much about her. I don't know she cares so much about me. When something bad happened to her, I thought that it was my job as her big sister to protect her and to do things for her and, you know, to help her. But sometimes it's not my job to do that. And even it's the same with family, it's the same with my kids, it's the same with my partner, it's the same with my mom, my dad, with the neighbor, okay? It's not all yours to control, okay?
Yeah.
And
and sometimes when you understand, again, when you look at the mirror in both ways, okay? So you can control yourself. You need to think of yourself, and as Maayan said, it doesn't make you selfish. It actually makes you better for other people when you're in a better situation and when you learn what's good for you. But if this is the way it is for you, then when other things are happening in this world, it's theirs. And you can decide, again, your reaction could be, do I want to take it in? Do I want to contain someone else's things? Or do I live it for them? I can decide if I support. I can decide if I let them be. I can decide if I react to their things in a certain way. This is what I can do, but it's theirs. And I think once we understand that, we are dealing better inside society, because everyone is dealing with their own things, and we don't know how many times did it happen to you that someone came to you and be like, and you're like, but I didn't do anything. And once you understand that, you're like, okay, something happened to them. They let it out on you. Your reaction is you can decide to take their feelings to you. You can decide to leave it for them. You can decide to talk. You can decide to leave. You can,
how many times someone comes at you and shouts at you, and your response is to shout back. Because like we said before, you have to protect yourself sometimes. But I did it once. Someone shouted at me Oh, thanks. Someone shouted at me for like an hour and a half. And I let her shout. Okay. She
Let it all out.
She let it all out. And I let her. Instead of shouting back, I just sat there listening to her. And in the end, I asked her, after 1 hour and a half, I asked her, are you finished? And she was all, what? And are you finished? And she said, yes! And I'm like, okay, thank you so much for whatever you said. I appreciate you letting it all out. I want to thank you for that. And I think this conversation is over. And she was like, but what? And I said, no, this conversation is over. I don't want to respond to that. I don't want my reaction to your shouting for an hour and a half is thank you and bye. And she was shocked, hung up the phone. And it's hard to do that because for an hour and a half, I wanted, like, there was a part of me that wanted to shout back and tell her, shut. But I didn't, okay? Because it wouldn't have served me in a way that will help me grow. And at the moment, what I wanted, my intention was to end this conversation and to move forward. So if I shouted her back, it wouldn't end the conversation. It would just continue on and on. No point of doing that. So I say thank you as a part of my growth and move on. And I think, I was able to do that because it took me like 3 years to work on myself, to go back inside and understanding that my reactions have an impact on the world, but also on how I feel and how I grow in this world. And I wanted to do what's best for me in this very unpleasant moment. So that's what I did.
And it's beautiful because this is about understanding. Again, we're saying it and you're here listening to us, and that's beautiful because it's about really understanding what serves us in every single situation and knowing that we're at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day, what we want is to have a positive experience as long as we're living and to deal best with whatever's coming at us and whatever we're dealing with, find the best solutions for ourselves so we can. This is my wish for every birthday in the past like couple of years. I'm like wishing everyone to wake up in the morning with a smile and to go excited for the day to come and to go to sleep with a smile, content and grateful for what just happened. And this is what I wish for you too, because it's part of it is understanding how to control our reactions and how to act with intentions that serves us. And this thing that Maayan just said is an amazing example because it's part of understanding and it's learning and exactly it's about feeling this need to shout back, but then asking yourself, will it serve me? And if the answer is no, then as quick as it came, it will go, it will fade away, and you can decide how to act differently. And no matter what situation you have in your life, and I can bet money on it that while you're talking to us listening to us right now, you have so many things popping in your head being like, ooh, last week, or this, yesterday, ooh, this morning, or things like that. And or actually it's even anticipation for something that is going to happen in a couple of hours and you're scared of how it's going to be, or you're putting pressure on yourself on how is it going to be. And all those things is exactly that. Learn how to distance yourself for 30 seconds. For
even 1 second.
1 second to tell yourself, how do I want it to be? What is my intention right now? How will I benefit from it? And sometimes it will work, sometimes it's not.
But it's a learning curve, it's a journey. It's not working all the time. It's not about that, and it's not about being perfect, it's just about moving forward and
I
Do it
can
a little bit better.
I can share with you that this morning I really wanted to do my meditation, and I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I picked like a good meditation, and I like, and I my intention was I need this moment for myself. All I want is a 15 minutes meditation, and I started, and yeah, no, it wasn't what was supposed to be, and I could get really angry at myself for not succeeding, because we are the worst enemies for ourselves sometimes. But it was so funny because I started sneezing and yawning and scratching, and everything like took me away from it. And after 5 minutes, I was like, you know what? It's probably not what I need right now. And everything is showing it to me. And that's fine. And what I said is, I am grateful that I tried, and I'll start another one tomorrow.
Yep.
And that's great.
Or later on.
Or later or whatever. But yeah, it's part of understanding that we can be, or we should be, soft and kind and compassionate towards ourselves first, and then we would be able to do it for everyone else as well.
Yeah. And I think if we have to conclude this Coffee Talkie Show, I'll say to you that next time that you're dealing with something, it can be very small or bigger, it doesn't matter. Think of this ball that's coming your way. Use your superpowers to stop that for a moment and be honest with yourself. How do you really want to react to this ball? What is it? What are you feeling? Like, try it, practice it. It takes practice. Practice it and be soft with yourself. Be kind to yourself. It's not about perfection. It's not about, being superwoman, stopping all the balls. It's not about that. And it's about, just for one moment, seeing the situation from other angles sometimes, and observe, be honest, and think of your intentions and think about yourself when you're doing that.
Yes.
Only yourself for a moment. Okay?
I know you can do that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be good. And I think on this very soft energy.
Yeah, and we want to invite you to, if you ever want to talk to us, share with us whatever you're feeling about this conversation we just had. If you have something to share, something you're wondering how it works, we are here for you, okay? Just send us a message. We'll hop on a call together. We'll chat. See how we can help you, to catch the ball or stop the ball or avoid the ball.
Practice
we're here for you.
Best self, being best self. I think it's super important.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to us. Another amazing day today. I'm really happy that we have this platform to talk with you and to let you inside our thoughts and our way of doing things.
Yes.
And we had a good coffee with you today. It was hot, so it was good. And we're gonna be here next Wednesday for another episode.
Yes.
In our Coffee Talkie Show. So have an amazing day, and thank you for listening. And we'll see you very soon.